How do you drink your coffee? Medium? Dark? Light? Or decaf? However you drink your coffee, head over to grimandgardencoffee.com right now to get you a bag. Our prices have never been lower. The official coffee of the Third Wheel Podcast. Three, two, one. Third Wheel Podcast. We haven't shot 2 episodes back to back in a while just because of scheduling, and we get done at 9 o'clock now. It gets really tiring. If this episode, if we get done talking about Telltale, at the 40-minute mark, I'm okay with calling it there because I just wanted this episode to be about Telltale. So if it ends early, that's fine. Totally fine with me. But I don't see it. I kind of want to dip into not each game, but the ones I'm familiar with. I played a lot of these.
Yeah.
So we can stop and kind of talk about those for a bit. But anyway, Telltale Games, very complicated checkered history. They made waves, they made moves, and they had successes. But as quickly as they popped up, they died. Like they hit mainstream in like 2012, and then like 6 years after that, they collapsed. Now they've been around since like 2004. I didn't know this, but basically 4 developers from LucasArts quit, or maybe the studio closed down. I think it was just quit. LucasArts didn't close till like 2011. But 4 developers from LucasArts, they wanted to do adventure games where, role-playing adventures, and LucasArts wasn't interested, so they quit and started their own company, Telltale Games. Their first couple games, have you played any of these? Sam & Max Save the World, Sam & Max Beyond Time and Space.
I played a little Monkey Island, I think.
Tales of Monkey Island.
But that was Lucasfilm, but same people, I think.
LucasArts.
Sam & Max, I think I've tried it a little bit. But those are really old. So before my time, actually. I did play well, we'll get into what we both played, probably our first introduction to Telltale. But yeah, no, I don't think I wouldn't consider myself a fan of those games yet.
Yeah. So the bigger games that came out, and this is before Walking Dead, Back to the Future, the game in 2010, and it was episodic. They're the ones that popularized the episodic feature. I think Back to the Future's the first.
That's the first one I played.
With episodic, I think. And I'm with you. That's also the first one I played. So let me see. There's that, and then I think Law and Order. When did Law and Order come out? Walking Dead. Okay, I use ChatGPT for like a summary of the information I found. But basically, Back to the Future came out, Law and Order came out, and then Jurassic Park the game came out. So I watched some behind the scenes of Back to the Future the game, which is already 15 years ago almost. That's crazy. Did you play the whole game, like every episode?
Yeah, once at least.
Me too, once. The first one was free on iOS, so I played that like 7 times trying to mix up decisions. It didn't ultimately matter, as you'll learn with Telltale Games, is like they trick you, in, at least at the time, they trick people into thinking their choices mattered, and we'll get into more of that later as we get to their more popular titles. But basically, you can pick what you say. They got Christopher Lloyd back as Doc Brown, and then they got a guy that sounded like the original Marty McFly, but not him. But
and they eventually, I think last episode, they got Michael J. Fox to voice an NPC.
Oh, that's cool. Do you think it was the last scene where all the Martys come in and they're all different versions?
No, it was some guy who ran a tractor or something. I forget exactly what the scene was, but it was a farmer.
That's cool. Okay. I like the Back to the Future the game. I feel like the last episode made it super complicated for like no reason, and it was a joke, I guess, but it made it so complicated for no reason to where I was like, I think they just erased the movies. I think the movies aren't intact anymore.
Awesome.
I was a little bit upset about that, but I mean, of course, at the end, the ending's a happy ending, and then the very last scene, 50 Martys show up and they're all wearing different outfits and they're like, hey, don't touch the time machine. And then one comes in, no, do touch the time machine. And then they just kept contradicting each other. It's like that Family Guy episode where Stewie and Brian get attacked by a bunch of their also counterparts. Like, wait, don't stop 9/11. No, do stop 9/11. No, don't. So dumb. But it was very solid. And that's the game that put them on the map. Back to the Future, the game. They had successes with Sam and Max and Tales of Monkey Island. But what really kind of put them on the map, they didn't quite hit mainstream yet, but what got them like some clout and a fan base was Back to the Future. They somehow talked the owners of that franchise into letting them borrow it for a quick game that actually turned out to be very popular. It also started the episodic storylines and the choose your own dialogue and adventure. Pretty cool. Next was Jurassic Park, the game. Did you play that one?
No, I did not.
It was terrible. They tried to mix in the choices. They also tried to do quick time events. And these were done poorly, by the way. So, like, the opening scene, you're running away from raptors. And if you miss a quick time event, she would trip over, like you're running and you hit the quick time. The quick time event was really complicated. It wasn't like a simple X, Y. It was like turn left, turn right, do the right joystick to the right. It was weird. And then if you messed one up, it just kind of like looped. So if she tripped over one branch, they just kind of looped it back to where she's not even started over. It just acted like the same branch would keep popping up to where like, oh, don't miss it. Don't fall this time. Don't fall this time. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but like they looped it. They looped that branch until you got it right. It was so dumb. The puzzles weren't as good. The gameplay wasn't point and click. I don't know. It was a miss. They tried to, I guess you could say they tried something different, but the story wasn't as engaging. I couldn't tell if it had a bigger budget or not. And then graphics wise, it wasn't that impressive. I think about Jurassic Park was like the visual effects for the movies, like just really set it up above, the movies of that time period. And then the game, like the graphics just weren't that good. So I don't know. Jurassic Park is like famous for the visual effects, like not necessarily the characters. Like I know they helped; they were pretty well written, and it's a funny movie. But the effects are what put Jurassic Park on the map. So the game itself, being a letdown visually, I think is probably what hurt it the most. Not so much the gameplay or innovation. Like yeah, that's a big part of it, but like it's crappy. The crappy Telltale engine, which is already not that great, and so you try to make a game that's known for like being beautiful visually. And you use your crappy, what they would eventually call the Telltale engine. You use your crappy Telltale engine for that, just really sets it back. So Jurassic Park, pretty much a miss. But their breakthrough game, 2012, this is the game that put them in the eyes of everybody. Game Informer named their main character in this one of the best characters of that year. That actor has since gone on to do absolutely nothing, which shocked the hell out of me because he's really good.
I think she won Best Character of the Year, right?
No. Lee, the guy that plays Lee.
Oh, I thought Clementine eventually won that award, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. So Game Informer, they did their like top 10 characters of the year. He was number 1. I thought that was weird because he was above Shepard, but Commander Shepard. But I disagreed with that. But it's fine. I understood what they were going for here. But anyway, the game that changed the entire thing, 2012, Walking Dead Season 1. It introduced Lee, Clementine. It highlighted the best aspects of Telltale storytelling, episodic. People tuned in every month to get the next episode. I was stuck a month behind because I was playing on the iPad, but it was worth the wait because every episode that came out just blew my mind. It also tricked people into thinking that your choices mattered. So the illusion of choice, that's where I first learned what the illusion of choice is. Because every single decision you make had no impact on the ending, on any other decision that happened in the main story. Characters that were predetermined to die would still die. I don't know. So you played season 1, right? Walking Dead.
Yes.
Okay, all 5 episodes. What do you think?
A while ago.
Oh, come on now.
I liked it a lot.
I was saying,
for sure. I don't think I had any complaints of it.
Those still stuck with you though. Like you can't tell me you've forgotten all the episodes, right? Episode 1,
I
Finding
remember Lee and
Clementine.
Clementine, and then uh, I don't know if I remember specific moments besides the ending.
Well, the ending's what stuck out to people the most, but like you don't remember the
Mm.
cannibal farm. You don't remember. Come on,
Well, when you're
come
bringing
on,
it up,
guy.
yes, but not like out the date. No.
So, episode 1 was good enough to make you think your choices mattered because there was a big choice between do you save the guy or the girl, right? You
Hmm.
save Doug or Carly. There was
Right.
also like, do you support Kenny or Larry in the part where they think the kid's bitten, and so like you
Yeah.
get to pick one. So everyone's thinking, well, okay, the next 4 episodes will explore the consequences of those actions, right?
Hmm.
So if you remember in episode 2, the cannibals lock you up in a closet or the freezer, and Larry, he has a heart attack, and Kenny's like, "Oh, we got to kill him before he turns because you don't have to be bitten, you just have to, you just got to die. We're all infected, right? That's the Walking Dead universe
Hmm.
lore." Um, Kenny says, "Hey, help me kill Larry before he turns." Larry's daughter Lily says, "Help me revive him by doing chest compressions. He's not dead. We can save him."
Yeah.
I watched a guy play the game, and he chose the help Kenny. And so you help Kenny, you hold back Lily while Kenny drops the salt lick on Larry's head. And I was
Hmm.
like, dang, that was a tough decision. I want to
Yeah.
explore the other decision. So when I played the game, I watched a guy play it. When I played it, I got to that part and I was like, I'm going to save Larry. I want to see what happens. Like maybe he can save him. So while you're doing chest compressions, freaking Kenny off screen throws the salt lick anyway and kills Larry. And I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, any game where you do that, it just sucks everything out of it. Like,
Yeah.
s-
Yeah. Illusion of choice is one of the worst things you could do to a game.
and not the Half-Life version, like the because in that game they're like, oh, that's the point, that's the main theme is illusion of choice. In this game, it's like, no, it's actually lying to the player, like
Yeah.
there's
Oh,
real
yeah.
choice.
Yeah. And I argued with people for months on forums. I argued
Hmm.
with friends in real life. I was like, bro, this game is selling you a lie. The choices do not. And nobody listened to me. Like for a year.
Hmm.
So season 2 didn't come out for like 2 years after the first season. I had to tell people, bro, literally the only thing that's going to carry over is Clementine. And they're like, well, you don't know the decisions you made, how they affect Clementine. I was like, well, if we're playing as Clementine, if she's the main character, I could
I
make
think I have an idea.
no, I can make opposite decisions of whatever season 1 set up because that's the choice,
Right.
right? If Lee taught
Hmm.
me to aim for the head, I can aim for the toes. You can't stop me, right?
Right.
If the choice really matter that much. Nobody listened to me, and I kind of argued with people forever. Now, of course, 10 years after the fact, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I guess he had a point there." Um, but anyway, God, that was so annoying. God, I triggered myself. So, season 1, really good. It's a really good story, though. It's a really good book, interactive book, I would say. But as far as like, and I replayed the first season at least 20 times to mix and match decisions, not because I thought it affected the outcome, but I actually did want to see at least the dialogue changes. And like by episode 5, you get some combinations. Like if you make different decisions throughout the season, there are a couple combination choices you can make that would get some unique dialogue, if that made sense. But that's about it. Like it didn't change the overall narrative. Characters still died at predetermined moments. But I digress. I hammered that point down. So the game oversells, by the way. Sells millions of units, wins all these awards. The character that plays Lee, he got work in New Vegas. I don't know if in New Vegas, do you remember the DLC where the guy that's got burns around his face? You remember that DLC for New
Oh,
Vegas?
yeah.
Well, the guy that tells the story, that's Lee. That's the guy that plays
Mm.
Lee. He introduces you to the character. He's the one that invites you through the tunnel and says, "All right, you're part of the caravan now." And then he dies 5 seconds into being introduced. Uh, but that's him. So I thought that was cool. And he got that role because of The Walking Dead. So that was pretty
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
Yeah. So with that expansion, though, with The Walking Dead hitting mainstream, selling millions of copies, I don't know if you know much about the behind the scenes drama, but basically the new CEO takes over, and it's one of the original 4 guys. I forget his name.
Mhm.
he's in charge and he says, "Step on the gas."
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "We're now going to produce so many games, right?"
Yep.
So Walking Dead Season 2 Fast Track, they do a DLC in between, 400 Days DLC. Did you play that one or no?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it was okay. It's like 5 random people. It's supposed to tie into Season 2, and it does kind of, but not really, of course, because it's Telltale. But Season 2 comes out, same problem. Graphics are slightly better. Then you get to Wolf Among Us, same year.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Now, you have some thoughts about that because you played Wolf Among Us, right?
It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Actually, tell me about it. I've never played it.
Oh, dude, I don't know if I should. And here's why. You don't have any idea what it is.
No clue.
Okay, I went in thinking it was just a werewolf game,
Uh-huh.
or I'm telling you, don't read up on it. Do not look it up.
I know
I
nothing
went in
about it.
completely blind, and
Yeah.
I was so fascinated and hooked immediately with what it was.
Really?
I'm telling you, dude, like play it as soon as possible because season 2 is coming out next year finally. It's been like on hiatus for what,
12,
15 years.
12 years.
They're finally making
Yeah, 12 to
they're
13.
finally releasing it. I'm telling you, you need to play it.
But like, do you think it's gonna be good though? Like, is it gonna live up to the hype?
I don't know, man. I'm going to love it no matter what. I genuinely mean that. I don't say that often.
That's a fanboy right there.
Kind of like KOTOR 3. I'm going
Yeah.
to love it no matter what. Um just like because it could be bad, right? But I'll still just be I'm so happy
hmm
that like they're actually doing something with it because it just deserves to have more.
Yeah. I feel
But
that way
no, dude,
about.
play and hey, they're remastering it end of this year.
Okay.
You should that perfect time to play it. Do not look up anything about it.
I won't. I haven't. It's been 12 years. I know nothing about Wolf Among Us. Here's the thing
That's
about Wolf Among
great.
Us though. It did not sell well. It was. I mean, okay, anything after Walking Dead season 1 wasn't going to make the same money. Like flat out.
Yeah, it's hard to compare those numbers.
Right. So Wolf Among Us comes out. It's not by any means a commercial failure, but the average audience, me,
I
at the
think I know where you're going with this actually.
really? Okay. Well, go ahead and rip the words out of my mouth. What do you think I was going to say?
Um, well, I think you're gonna lead into the fact that Walking Dead has an IP, and it was peak Walking Dead time when everyone was like crazy about the show,
Mm.
and it had a really strong IP, so that's why it sold really well. Wolf Among Us, it does come from an IP, but a vastly smaller one.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but that's a good point you brought up. Because yes, you're right. It did come out during peak Walking Dead
Mhm.
hype. Also, peak.
Everyone I knew who watched the show also played the game, so it's like
Yeah.
it went
Well,
hand in hand.
think about this too. That was also peak zombie craze. Like that was a thing
Oh
too.
yeah, the perfect time for that to come out.
Yeah. So it not only destroys records for Telltale, but it also overperforms for like, the $20 budget it had, right? So, and it was a really good story. I'm not saying it wasn't deserving of the hype. The characters were well written, as limited as they were, advertised as a storytelling, pick your own
Mhm.
adventure. It was still a really good story overall. Like I still replay it sometimes to this day. Like
Yeah.
one of the first games I played with Maddie because she hadn't played it was The Walking Dead season 1 and 2 and
Mhm.
4. I skipped 3 because 3 sucked. We'll get there. um, but yeah, that's a good point. Established IP. Wolf Among Us was from an IP, but way smaller. So
It's a comic book that like no one's ever read.
yeah. And at the same time, I didn't even think about this till you just mentioned that. That also kind of highlights that Telltale as a brand wasn't as strong as you would have thought it would have been. Because
Yeah,
everyone's thinking, oh, Telltale's the brand that everyone's going to buy. No, you're right. It was Walking Dead season 1.
and that's the common trend, and we're gonna go. Obviously I think we're going this direction, but like you'll see that common trend where they just kept on leaning into their IPs,
Mm-hmm.
thinking that would be like the end all be all, but that's actually kind of what led to their eventual decline.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so Wolf Among Us comes out. Great critical reviews. I remember everyone talking about it. I still just didn't care. But now that your endorsement, well, I feel like your endorsement should mean less since Cyberpunk. But
Shut up!
I'm
No,
not.
if anything, it should be breaking even.
However, I will say, other than I'm just gonna say it. Other than Cyberpunk, we agree on a lot of stuff, including and or literal, not game related, Israel. Like
Oh
last week, we
wow,
talked about
way to
Israel.
sneak that back
I
in.
know, and we actually were like, no, no, I agree with you on this. Like, we're
Yeah.
so I will say your opinion means a little bit more than the average scrub. So, I might give Wolf Among Us a try after I get done doing this audiobook, just because I
Oh,
know
dude.
it's short.
Uh,
Like, it's not long.
yeah, it's not long at all.
Yeah, it'll be quick.
I'm telling you, as soon as you figure out what the game's about, you're gonna be hooked. Like it's such
Okay.
a cool idea.
All right. All right. Answer me this though: is it Walking Dead style? Choose your dialogue.
I mean, yes, it is
Okay.
still a Telltale game. Go in
Okay.
with expectations that, hey, your choices. There are probably arguably more choices, mostly reserved to the end.
Sure.
Um, there's only one or two like really big choices, but keep your expectations to Telltale levels, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not going to be a Bethesda game
Sure.
of choices, but
Well,
if
hold
you can
on
get
now.
past that, then yes, it's pretty much exactly like the same thing.
Okay. I
Um,
was just curious. You know, you don't have to elaborate. I get it. I was just curious. Like, is it that still style?
yeah,
That's cool. All right. All right. Um, so Walking Dead season 2 comes out. Does really well. The story's really good. Not quite as good as season 1. It's missing Lee. In my opinion, this is my opinion. Maybe right or wrong. I think they killed Lee too early. I don't think they expected it to be as big of a success as it was. And again, it sold really well. It sold so well that Telltale probably got a big head and thought, oh, we can do no wrong. So season 2 comes out. It's still good. It's just not as good as season 1. Clementine's still engaging. It's got some really good writers. There's a decision at the end that, well, I'll just say the ending where you get to pick to save Kate or save Kenny. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I was going to do. Did you play season 2 or did you watch it?
no,
So season 2 at the end, they establish a really good character, Kate. I think it's her name. No, I'm sorry, Jane. Her name's Jane. And Kenny comes back. If you remember Kenny, he's the guy with the mustache. He was throughout the whole season. He was the one who had to kill his son in episode 3 of season 1. He comes back. He's alive. And they establish throughout the season he's kind of slowly losing his marbles, right? So at the end, you got to choose between saving Jane or kill Kenny. It's not save Jane or save Kenny. It's kill Kenny to save Jane or let Kenny kill Jane because they're fighting. So that was a brilliant way to frame that decision, by the way, because they do the Telltale timer where if you do nothing, whatever happens, happens. But they're fighting, and so Kenny's getting ready to stab Jane, who I really liked, but I also really like Kenny. So it's either shoot Kenny to save Jane or let the timer run out and let Kenny kill Jane. And when I tell you, bro, I was like, my heart stopped. I didn't know what to do because they were both right and they were both wrong. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Because Kenny's my homeboy since season 1. Him and Lee were inseparable to me.
yeah,
Brilliant. I think that's one of the best well-written choices in a Telltale game, by the way. Underrated. Criminally underrated. Everyone's so focused on season 1 where season 2 kind of gets glossed over, but that was a really tough decision. It also, season 2, they actually expanded a bit on the decision making. So obviously, you still kind of get a predetermined ending, not ending. The story follows a predetermined like outcome, but certain choices allow characters to live a little bit longer, like an episode or two longer than they would have before. Some characters get killed suddenly without any with no, it's like abrupt. They don't get their comeuppance. They don't get their moment. But if you choose certain decisions, they do get to live a bit longer. They still die, but they get like a cooler way to go out, which is pretty cool. And then it has like four, or actually five technically distinct endings. Very different from each other. So you actually get to have different endings in season 2. I think season 2 deserves a little bit more credit than it's actually been given, personally. But nobody talks about it as much. Wolf Among Us comes out, doesn't sell as well, but it's one of their better titles. And then next up, we get Tales from the Borderlands. So these all kind of come out around the same time.
definitely the golden age of Telltale.
So did you play Tales from the Borderlands?
Yeah, dude.
Good.
And you don't have to play this one, but let me tell you, it was such a surprise hit for me.
Really? Okay.
I thought it was going to be a throwaway, like kind of stupid, but
Me too.
it's actually a better story than any of the Borderland games,
Okay,
like
Jesus.
by a long shot.
My God. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I was about to write this one off of like, hey, we're back.
No,
We're down to
that's what
schlock.
everyone kind of thinks. And then, but like, if you look it up, like the original, not the sequel, but the original was so unbelievably good. Like it was just like way better than it ever needed to be
Hmm.
for no reason.
Okay. All right. Never mind. Sorry. Uh, well, okay. Here's the thing, though. So these next three games, including Tales from the Borderland, they all come out in the same year. So we're starting to see their overextending of themselves, right? So 2014 to 2015, keep that number in mind. 2015, Tales from the Borderlands. 2014 to 2015, Game of Thrones. 2015 to 2017, Minecraft Story Mode. With the exception, Minecraft Story Mode sells well. Not as good as Walking Dead Season 1, but because it tapped into the Minecraft stuff, it actually sold really well. And I even think the original Minecraft game helped advertise it, so everyone's obsessed with Minecraft. So they Minecraft Story Mode sells really well. Game of Thrones and Tales from Borderlands doesn't do well commercially. And then you do Wolf Among Us too. And those all came out in the same time frame. Almost the same year. Wolf Among Us came out the year before, but Game of Thrones, Minecraft, and Tales from the Borderlands, same year. So they're already pumping all this stuff out. And only Minecraft Story Mode does well from those three. Game of Thrones doesn't sell very well. It also wasn't very well critically reviewed. Did you play Game of Thrones?
No, I've heard it was like one of their worst ones.
Right. I heard that too. So here's the thing. I also thought that about Tales from Borderlands. So I didn't know. So I don't know. Now I'm kind of curious about like maybe we should give it a try because this sounds like the games were still really good even though they were pumping them out a lot.
If you it's okay. So Wolf Among Us is a must play. If you still have like Telltale fever, definitely play Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah, I just don't give any. I really don't care about Borderlands. I'll give Wolf Among Us.
Neither did I, and then it was amazing.
Well, okay,
I'm telling you.
I don't have a Telltale kick though. I believe you. I really okay. From the bottom of my heart, chaps, I believe you. I just don't care.
That's
care.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, if before you die, you need to play Wolf Among Us.
All right. I will. Well, shoot. I'm old, so I might die sooner than later. So I will get right on Wolf Among Us. That'll be the next. That'll be the palate cleanser before I play Baldur's Gate. All right. You've convinced me. All right. I will. If this doesn't blow my mind. Okay, if I don't at least get hooked, maybe,
Here we go again.
Maybe not blow my mind. All right, I won't say that. But if I don't at least get hooked this time, then
oh my gosh, dude!
I will
after
reassess.
episode 1.
Yeah,
you're gonna call me up.
I will be.
That's my prediction.
I will reassess your opinions of things if Wolf Among Us doesn't at least hook me. I'm not gonna say blow my mind because that's a high bar. I don't want to do that to myself. No game would live up to that kind of hype, right? So I'm not gonna do that. But at least grip me. So I'll trust you. Like I'll play the first 2 episodes. I'll probably play the whole thing. It's not gonna be that long. But
no, definitely not.
But if by episode 2 I'm not like hooked, then you'll get a nice worded text from me about how your opinion has gone down the scale.
Good luck, dude.
All right, so Minecraft sells really well. It does close to Walking Dead numbers. I don't have those numbers pulled up, but if we're talking commercial success, it actually goes up a bit with Minecraft. Again, not because of Telltale. Now that we've established it's not the Telltale brand, it's the IP that they pulled from. Because we get to 2016, which is Batman the Telltale series. This doesn't sell well.
Okay, so hear me out.
Well, hold on. Before you say that. Because this did get a second season, by the way, right? So they did Batman the Telltale series, and then they did another, let me see it, let me find it. They did another Batman game, The Enemy Within. So they did a season 2, essentially. They titled it differently, The Enemy Within. It got a sequel, so it did enough, but it doesn't reach Walking Dead numbers. So another commercial, I would say either break even. Well, okay, it can't be break even if they made another one. So it does sell well, but again, way below probably expectations. So, okay, go ahead. What's your opinion on Batman, the Telltale series?
Also, maybe I'm just such a huge Telltale fan. They were my favorite developers for so long.
I hear you.
If you've never played it, don't, because it actually, like the first one, not the second one, the first one, it's just kind of broken. Like it doesn't play very well. That's just a fault of the engine.
Yeah.
However, very interesting Batman story.
Okay.
It definitely. I would look up like a Let's Play or something because
Yeah.
the story I've never heard it before for Batman. Um, like it throws you completely for a loop.
Right.
And then the sequel, that's when Joker shows up.
Right.
They do something really cool with him that I haven't seen before. I'm just
Oh,
like,
really? So he's not even in the
just
first season, really?
he wasn't in the first season. He shows up once, but he's not even Joker. And then
Oh,
second
okay.
season, uh, it just to give you kind of a little hook, you basically become his mentor,
Okay. Well, that's
and you get to choose if he becomes a hero or a villain.
that's interesting. All right.
Yeah, no, it's really
Well,
cool.
I was actually already intrigued when he said he's not even really in the first season.
Yeah, he's in it for
Um,
like one episode, like half an episode.
okay. No, that's interesting. Cool. All right. I might actually watch a Let's Play because I don't even think you can find it on the store. By the way, we got to reset the camera.
Yeah.
But I don't even think you can find Batman on the Telltale series on the
Are you
store
sure?
now. I don't know. You brought it up last time, and I just didn't look. So let me see here. Sorry.
You can't play Game of Thrones. I'm pretty sure Batman's there.
I'm not playing Game of Thrones. You can suck a ball. I don't care how much you talk that one
Now
up.
hear me out.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
No, the Telltale series is still here on Steam.
Okay. So you're looking up quick enough. I don't see
Only
it.
$15.
Well, it'll help if I spelled Batman right. Man. Batman. What the hell? Where is it? Telltale. Sorry. Here we go. Batman Telltale series. There it is. Enemy Within. Is that here?
Enemy Within is that sequel.
One more. Sorry, guys. Technically, this is part of the. This is part of the dead air segment where I reset the camera. Enemy Within. Let me see here. It is. Oh, well, actually, you probably just click on the enemy. You probably just click on the Telltale series, and it probably has both seasons. That makes more sense. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Whole thing's on Steam. I'll think about it. The summer sale's coming up. It's only $15 right now. So, all right. Let me reset the camera. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. So, Enemy Within though on Steam, for the record, on camera. Would you say that's worth playing both seasons? You would say both seasons are worth playing.
Yeah, if you play the first one, you might as well play the second one.
All right. Well, probably not right now. I really want to start Baldur's Gate.
No.
But
Yeah, that's definitely like if you're down the Telltale rabbit hole.
I don't know. I don't know if I care anymore. I care enough to talk about their studio mismanagement, but not enough to like play all their games. You know. Which games were you talking about are delisted? Is it past this time period now? 2016? Are you talking about the games before?
Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, really?
Can
you look?
Game of Thrones. I never even got the chance to play it.
I'm not playing Game of Thrones. I can suck my butt. I already said that. Guardians of the Galaxy. It's gonna pull up the other Guardians game too, because there's another Guardians of the Galaxy game, and we have a little bit to talk about with that. Telltale. That's crazy because that was a more recent one. Yeah, you're right. Nope. There's Marvel's Guardians, and that was done by the people that did Marvel's The Avengers, which didn't last very long. Okay. All right. Guardians of the Galaxy's gone. All right. We're back on this talk now. Okay, so you say Batman's good. That got 2 seasons, so it sold enough. I mean, they wouldn't have made 2 seasons if it didn't sell well. But definitely, I was reading, definitely not as big of a success as the other one.
Sure.
Walking Dead. But to be fair, nothing is at this point. 2016, 2017, Enemy Within, Batman the Enemy Within comes out. 27, okay, they really started stepping on the gas here. So they already did that kind of with Tales from the Borderlands, Game of Thrones, Minecraft Story Mode, all coming out in the same year. Batman the Telltale series in 2016, Batman the Enemy Within 2016, 2017. And then 2017, Guardians of the Galaxy. The Walking Dead Season 3. It's just called The Walking Dead A New Frontier, 2016 as well. 2017, Guardians of the Galaxy. They are pumping the gas. Now, with the exception of Batman, Guardians of the Galaxy, Walking Dead A New Frontier, which is arguably the worst thing that Telltale's ever done, they really, at this point, these crucial years for Telltale, is when they took on too many IPs at once. They're pumping out too many games in 1 year. Some of them are overlapping, by the way. Like, I think Batman was coming out, and then Guardians was coming out, and then Walking Dead was. I'm pretty sure some of those episodes overlapped.
Yeah, probably. No, they definitely spread too thin.
Yeah, so those games are all coming out. I noticed a writing hit immediately, right? So Guardians of the Galaxy comes out. At this point, too, Batman, Guardians, Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, they're all the same game, by the way. They all use the Telltale engine. They all say Claptrap will remember that, right? Joker will remember that. That type of stuff. Rocket will remember that. They all follow the same formula, is what I'm trying to say. They all try, and the former developers from Telltale noted this. They said they were trying to replicate the success of Walking Dead. So Walking Dead outperforms season 1, overperforms, and now they can't get out of under its shadow. They mistake, Telltale's popular. Really, like you said, it's the Walking Dead zombie craze that's popular at the time. Peak when that came out. And so every game, they're trying to model that formula, same game every time. They also expect Walking Dead season 1 numbers because they're Telltale, they're cool. So why wouldn't you think, we'll just pump out 3 games at once, they're all going to sell well, right? So not enough developers, too many stories, too many IPs, too many episodes, too many scripts to write, too many recording sessions, and they're all commercial disappointments. Some of them being commercial failures. Guardians of the Galaxy, failure. Nobody talks about it. I forgot it existed till I researched this video. Story wasn't that good. Walking Dead: A New Frontier comes out. I am pissed because the very first thing the New Frontier does, it's a really cool title. They start releasing 2 episodes at once instead of 1 episode at a time. Can you guess what the problem was with releasing 2 episodes instead of just 1 like they were doing?
Went through it too quickly?
Yeah. So basically, there are 2 half episodes. So there's only going to be 5, right? Still. I think New Frontier had 6. But the first 2 episodes they drop feel like 2 half episodes. And when it really should just be 1, right? Another thing they did, Clementine's not the main character, by the way. It's this new guy named Javier. They call him Javi for short. Way less engaging than Clementine. I don't play all these Telltale games, by the way. I'm ready just for more Walking Dead. I want to see how Clementine's story ends. They're making 4 games at the same time. So New Frontier gets shoved in there. I don't know who wrote this one, bro, but basically there was a little bit of pressure, not a lot, but a little bit from the creator of Walking Dead to start overlapping his comics with Clementine. So we get this.
Yep, that's when you got it's just like reverse problem.
Yeah, so a strength of the Walking Dead universe, I don't think Kirkman knows this as creator. I don't think he understands this. He also creates Invincible, by the way, if you didn't know that. He doesn't understand the value of my universe is so rich that characters that have nothing to do with Rick, Michonne, he doesn't understand the world is rich enough to where you can create characters in your world, which is so rich with lore and cool ideas. You can make characters that are on different parts of the globe and tell a good story. That's how good he set up his planet. He wanted it to where, Clementine's a really good character. I want her to meet Rick at some point. I want her to clash with the guy with the baseball bat, Negan, So season 3, there's a little bit of that. Characters cross over. Characters are way less engaging, by the way. Javi, for some reason, he's the main character. He's boring. I don't care about any of his family he's trying to keep alive. Very scripted again. So here's another problem. They didn't have enough writers to write different endings for choices. So the stuff I had a problem with in season 1 and to a lesser extent, the other Telltale games, I thought choices didn't matter in season 1. They really didn't matter in 3. It's bad. And each Telltale game at the end, it says, here's the choices you made. We compared it to other players. Well, this time when I see the choices at the end, it's did you pick an apple or an orange? 49% of players chose orange. 51% chose apple. The choices sucked this time, by the way, when you rounded up the the ending choices. It gives you the stats. The choices were terrible. There were parts I was like, there's no way that's one of the 5 big choices this episode, and totally was. Total garbage. It also disregarded the endings to season 2. I told you there were 5 really distinct endings. Well, it doesn't matter. Clementine ends up at the same place. So they tossed those out. All those endings were very emotional, by the way. Like, it felt like a good, like, not hopeful at all ending to the Clementine story. Yeah, those are all gone. If a character stuck with you, they're dead. They died. There's a throwaway flashback scene where rushed characters die. So I don't know. It was just a total slap in the face. You don't play as Clementine, so I get to see, oh, maybe my choices carry over, and I don't know, we get to see Clementine now independent. I try to look at it from that perspective, if that makes sense. Like, I get to see my choices. I get to see an independent Clementine making her own choices based on stuff I did in the previous seasons. No, she's a dummy. She's stupid. She trips, she falls into traps, she gets angry and puts people's lives in danger. Totally slap in the face. Pissed me off. I thought the franchise was dead, right? And the New Frontier was the last game that came out before the final season. So 2016, 2017, Walking Dead comes out. Worst season of the 4. And then next we get Walking Dead, the final season. Episode 1 comes out. They get the writer from season 2, which I read that and I was like, cool. Success, right? Get the guy who wrote like one of the best seasons, and he writes the first 2 episodes. The girl that plays Clementine is in the recording booth in 2018. She's recording lines for season 4, episode 3. And as she's in the recording booth, they knock on her window and they say, you have to get out of here in 30 minutes. The studio's closing for good, period. Legit. Like, her actual testimony was, I was recording lines for episode 3. We just did episode 1 and 2, sold pretty well. And it was only going to be 4 episodes this season. They decided smaller, better. Instead of making 50 terrible episodes, let's make 4 really good ones. She's in the recording booth for episode 3. As she's like in mid-scream or whatever, they knock on her booth and say, get out. Everyone's fired. You got 30 minutes or we're calling the police.
Airlines her.
Yeah. Well, can you at least give me an Uber ride home? No. You're fired.
No, there's no money. There's literally nothing.
The real controversy, too, is no severance packages. Like, there was no money.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
The money was gone. Nothing. There was no money. They could not even finish recording the episode. The main character. Yep. So yeah, everybody gets a 30-minute get out or we're calling the police. Which is weird because like I listed off all 50 games they did in 1 year. And then like we get to, okay, let's restructure everything smaller. They got rid of the guy that said, yes, more is better. They also signed a deal with Netflix where they were adapting Minecraft Story Mode. They were making a Netflix interactive game, choose your own adventure through Netflix. And then I want to say, not Paramount, but another major studio also signed with them to make some games that they could also put on their streaming. And both not Netflix didn't pull out, but that other one, I don't think it was Paramount. It was another one. And it wasn't Skydance. It could have been Skydance. Is Skydance a television or movie producer company? Or
I've heard the name. I don't know back in my head.
Well, Skydance, I think it was Skydance. I could be wrong. They pulled out, and so that was it. That was their last major investor. They kept like 5 people to finish Minecraft Story Mode for Netflix. Otherwise, they'd be in a lawsuit with Netflix not being able to deliver. So they finished Netflix Minecraft Story Mode. Everyone else is fired. Mid-season of The Walking Dead, which was amazing, by the way. They fixed it. Like, all my complaints with the first 2 seasons, fixed. Like, choices actually matter. There's a bunch of different endings. Characters live or die. They bring back a character from season 1 who you thought not dead but got away, and they bring her back as the main antagonist. Really good. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, we're back. Like, Telltale's fired the dummy who said more is better. They quit stretching themselves too thin. Instead of one piece of toast with like a tiny piece of butter spread out too much over it, they said, no. Put the loaf away. We're going to do one piece of toast at a time. Amazing season. And then I was so heartbroken when it was canceled, like mid, I'm waiting on the next episode. I didn't cry, but I was sad for a week, brother. But
Yeah, I was really sad that time too.
yeah, Robert Kirkman
Probably the
though.
saddest I've ever been for a developer closing down.
Yeah, because you liked him more than I did. It sounds like because I checked out after season 2 of Walking Dead. I checked back in for New Frontier, but I stopped. I mean, it was so bad. I had taken note of all the games that were coming out, but it was so bad that I quit altogether. Except for final season for Walking Dead, it was called the final season. I read up on it. Everyone's coming back, even the original writer from season 2. So I was like, all right, this is gonna be good. And they're only gonna do one game at a time now instead of 20. So yeah, it was good. And then so disappointing. Totally you know, I don't know. But I got lucky because Robert Kirkman, he owned Walking Dead, period. So he said, hey, he had his own gaming company by that point too. So he said, we'll just take everyone. He actually picked up a lot of people from Telltale. He picked up those guys, gave them jobs, and said, here, work for me until you at least finish The Walking Dead. He loved He loved Clementine so much that he picked up the slack and got those last 2 episodes out. So we got an ending. Ending was really good. It was awesome. So we got to close the chapter, close the book on that story. Really cool. But after that, yeah, Telltale's dead. Until so the guy that said more is better, he ended up suing. I forgot why. Sorry, I thought I wrote that down. He sued because it had something to do with money. They sued they fired him. The board voted to kick him off. He was killing the company. He did kill the company, but by the time they fired him, it was too late. There was no money left. However, so in 2018, 90% of staff was laid off. Project canceled mid-development. Studio was shut down with the exception of like 5 people for Minecraft. Do you know what company bought them out? What bought out Telltale, or did they just come back? Did they just?
They kind of broke apart to like 3 different. Like some of them stayed and remade Telltale. Some of them went to another company. Some of them made another studio.
Okay.
So have you heard of Dispatch?
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's former Telltale.
but it's not Telltale though. It's just former
It's
developers.
not actually Telltale. It's former
Okay.
Telltale.
All right. So you can tell because it's got the choice stuff, but
But new Telltale, so actual like what it is, they made like a Star Trek game recently or something. So there's a few different companies that are working with those people.
right. Like you talking about right now, working with Telltale, the company.
Yeah, there's the new Telltale, there's the company made up of Telltale employees, and then there's companies that just took some of those people. So it's
Okay.
like
So
it's a bunch of different.
I'm trying to understand though what you just said. So, but you said they're working together. Like which one's working together? Or are you
None of them are working together. There's a new studio
yeah. Okay.
made up of
I get
former
it now.
employees, and then there's a revitalized Telltale.
Right. And so that's the one that's doing Wolf Among Us season 2.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the new company is what made Dispatch.
So, from my understanding, the new Telltale,
Mhm.
it has a lot of people from the old Telltale developers,
Yeah.
but they're not full-time staff right now, is what I was reading.
Probably
if
that
you
makes sense.
if you know any better, please let me know. But right now, they're still technically freelancers. So I guess depending on whether Wolf Among Us season 2 comes back and actually does really well, that'll I guess determine whether or not Telltale 1 is gonna the new one is either gonna continue and be more established and make some money back, and whether or not they'll sign people back on full time, or whether it'll kill the company again. So I don't know because Wolf Among Us wasn't one of their more popular titles. That's the thing. So I'm kind of curious. Is it gonna save the company or not? I don't know. What do you think? I mean, is this a make or break for them?
Well, it's already had problems because this game's been delayed like twice.
Well, it was delayed though under old Telltale though, right?
No. They brought it back
Really?
and then it got delayed again,
Wow.
like twice. So they made a trailer for it. Telltale got shut down. Then they made a new trailer like a couple years later, maybe 3 years after that, and then it got delayed again, potentially canceled.
Really?
And then they were like, it's coming out, and then nothing has been talked about forever until literally just this past Summer Games Fest when they released a new trailer.
Okay, so it is. Do they have a release date?
Just 2027.
Okay, all right, all right. Well, I'm rooting for him. I want him to do. I want it to happen. You know, I don't. They're not like the live service where I get excited for their demise. I want them to succeed, right? I mean, what do you think? You want them to succeed, or you just want Wolf Among Us too? You don't care.
No, dude. Again, this whole episode I've been glazing them, right? I love Telltale. I love their unique storytelling. I think they're more than just a visual novel, but they just like I loved how they were the small boxer, that was keeping up with these giants. Like
Yeah,
they were getting these awesome IPs, like they were telling stories that you've never, or in like retelling stories you've never heard before,
yeah,
and they were popular. Like everyone loved them. Like everyone kind of like Bethesda, everyone kind of forgave like the quirkiness or just kind of like the crappy engine because it was just such like a charming way of telling stories. And it had its own tropes, and people were made fun of like choices don't matter, but people gave up. Like they forgave them,
yeah,
and the few stories that like Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead, like they remember them. And actually, like games like Tales from the Borderlands, it was so good that they actually took characters from that game and put them in Borderlands 3.
okay,
Like, so they were just masters at like telling stories. I just like
yeah.
I
When they
that's
weren't
majority
stretched.
of the time that's why I play games.
Yeah, for sure.
Is for the story. So just
Well,
like that's what I think that's what I loved about them. From their humble beginnings with freaking way back when with like Monkey Island, and then making their own studio, and
hmm
then freaking Back to the Future, like an IP game, or a licensed game is what they're called. Like no one liked those. No one liked those. They're always bad, but they made a completely new story and everyone liked it.
yeah.
And I don't know if you played the card game. Like that's so small, right? But they made two poker games, and it features characters from the Telltale universe, but also other IPs.
Okay.
And they made two of them, and there's like a really good YouTuber documentary on the making of those games and how crazy it was that they got all these IPs together to agree, and everyone just kind of like apparently like behind closed doors like in the industry, everyone just loved Telltale.
Yeah.
Like they just all loved being a part of it, like they loved supporting it. So it has just such a rich, cool history, and it's so tragic what happened to it, but it refuses to die because
Yeah.
everyone still remembers it.
Yeah.
That's why Dispatch did so well. Everyone still remembers like
How good Telltale was.
why they loved it. And
Yeah.
Wolf Among Us 2, dude, people are still cheering their heads off just because it was announced again for the third time. Like there's a huge market for it.
I hope so.
So
Because I'm
yeah,
with you. I want them to make it. I want them to
I would
succeed.
yeah. Um, no, I just know it's gonna. I think it's gonna hit, and everyone's like, people are just gonna love it, even if it's not the best or as good as the first. People are still gonna love it.
I hope so. I really do. I don't want it to suck. I really don't
Oh
want.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Well, Telltale, best of luck to you. I hope this was a good representation of your story. Well, probably not. We told it from our
No,
cynical
that's
perspective.
what's good. That's what's amazing, right? It has such great. Like, watch a documentary sometime about
Yeah.
Telltale
Yeah.
because like it has such great highs and such low lows.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I looked up, like, I tried to look up YouTube videos on the history of it.
Mm.
The last video I saw, these were the top videos. They all stopped when they closed. Nobody's talking
Interesting.
about them trying to come back. So
Weird.
we might be I'm sure somebody has, but we might be one of the earlier people to talk about, like, hey, they're coming back. Like, here's where they started, here's where they died, and here's where they got resurrected.
Well, dude, I glazed Dispatch, and everyone did. Like, it has
Yeah,
overwhelmingly positive
yeah,
reviews on Steam. It like got nominated for awards at the Game Awards. Like, Aaron Paul's a part of it, and everyone's going up. Instead of like Aaron Paul said during his interview that like people he's kind of used to people asking him to like reference Jesse, but
Yeah.
now people are like asking him to reference his character from Dispatch. I'm like,
That's
that's so
cool.
cool.
Yeah, Dispatch
Like,
is
I love that.
Dispatch is kind of expensive right now, so I haven't gotten it, but
Yeah, no, but it is a solid game, and look how
I believe it.
beautiful it
Yeah.
is. It's
I'd
so
say
great. It's good looking.
in 5 years when it's only $5 for Steam summer sale, I'll probably pick it up. But
Yeah, no, definitely
I
worth
got bigger
worth a
fish
play.
to fry. I got Baldur's Gate waiting on me. I just got to finish this audiobook. Outcast 2023, the novel about people in India being trafficked. Coming soon. Audiobook read by my wife. Soon to Audible. I don't know if it's going to be Audible, but it's coming soon. I hope maybe some people listen to it. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, unless you had anything you want to add.
Let me do something real quick.
Sure. Oh, he meant go do something. I was about to close this.
No. I just took a picture. I'm going to send it to you. And if you want to edit this in later.
Okay, sure.
This entire episode, I've been painting one of my Space Marines, and I kind of wanted to show it off.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Not finished yet, but I did a lot of work.
Oh, yeah, baby. You taking commission? That's not bad at all. All right.
Oh, thanks.
No, it looks great, and that's not even finished. All right, I can't wait. Yeah, you really got into this. Well, we need to have a painting session, you and me. I got a ton of paints, and we need to hang out and just paint stuff. I got some stuff I'm working on. So, All right, cool. I will definitely put that in the episode per your request. Let me save the image, or I'll lose it. We text a lot actually now.
That's true, yeah.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know. This episode feels kind of special. We kind of touched on a bit from our childhood.
You tugged my heartstrings.
Just a bit, yeah. No, I actually felt a little bit of magic this time. I hope people watch it and get the same thing. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See you guys next time.
Bye.